is approval of the minutes from August the 28th, 2025. That was mailed out with, from the administration. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or changes to those minutes? We'll entertain a motion to approve. That'll be one of y'all two.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the August 28th,
Yeah,
2025. Okay.
and we have a second. Any opposition, any discussion? Here none, that motion passes. Public comment. Remember, we changed this procedure a little bit the last time, so if you're interested in making a public comment on an agenda item, then sign in back here and put the agenda item. Is there anybody signed up now? Well, if anybody else wants to sign up, they should go there now, sign up and put the agenda item that you wish to comment on. Okay, reports of standing committees, and I'll turn this over to Mr. Shelton.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dawson. Welcome everyone to our meeting. Just want to go over our income statement for the month of August. Net patient revenue was at $725,000. Other operating revenue was at $220,000. Revenue total was $946,000. We actually budgeted for $562,000. If you can look, employee expenses were at $749,000. $391,000 was on purchase services. So your net operating expense was $1.1 million. I want to bring this to everyone's attention. It shows that $234,000 loss, but I can explain where that comes from and how that's a net positive. Because you had 3 payroll cycles in the month of August, so you booked an additional $160,000. Plus, when you have to do our annual insurance premiums and varies, that brings up another $140,000. If you back that $160,000 and that $140,000, you will see that we had a net positive for the month of August of $70,000. So that will go away.
Where do we stand on that year to date?
So year to date, it's going to be at the end, but we're going to say it at the end. But we're at 1.2 million, but I will explain that in a few minutes. For the month of August, we had a net positive of $70,000.
That closes our fiscal year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you're looking at our balance sheet, we have a hefty balance sheet. We're at $38.8 million. If you can see, on August 31st of 2024, we had $33.6 million. That's a $5 million increase based upon the investments and based upon your fixed assets at 7.2. You're looking at current liabilities at 1.1 million, unrestricted funds 37 million. The total is $38.8 million that is in our balance sheet at the moment, versus when we started 33.6 million.
Well, you know, I thought we were going to have something here on our investments. I don't see. So we don't have anything tonight?
No, sir. No, sir. But we do have the final snapshot that I do have for you at the moment. It came after the.
What in our
It came today, and our agenda was already written before. So,
okay, so when did we tell him about this? Not until today?
No, sir. It was on Monday.
Okay.
If you look at our capital analysis, so the board approved for last fiscal year 1.7. We was able to be fiscally responsive. We have $160,000 that we have left from our capital budget, and that's all of the capital agreements that we have for the hospital, with our chemicals, with the equipment, as well as supplies to fix the hospital and to get it where it needs to be. So $160,000 is what we have remaining in the capital. Looking at our sales tax, $152,000 was brought in on September the 7th, bringing us at $2 million for the year. Finally,
but can we back up on that?
Yes, sir.
So the 244, I don't remember it being that high, but what caused that to be 100,000 greater than what we have this month?
It had a good month in what's coming on this side of the river. But it's gonna fluctuate at the moment right now. But, another one.
What do you remember that, what period was that actually bought in? So we reported as July and August, but I want to say it's 2 or 3 months behind. Is that correct?
So you're seeing the 152, this is actually being reflected on your July month. So it's always.
2 months behind?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
So we have 2 more months to put on our actual last fiscal year, and then we'll roll to the new fiscal year.
Okay.
And lastly, I want to share, I did share that with our audience for tonight. It shows our total budget for our last fiscal year and where we ended the books for this current fiscal year. So now you see net patient revenue was at 9.1 million. We budgeted for 4.1 million. Your other operating revenue was at 2.5. We budgeted for 2.6. Your revenue total is at 11.6 million. Looking at your employee-related expenses, as well as all of our net operating revenue is at 10 million. Your net operating revenue performance is a 1.2. We're ending the year with a net positive of $1.2 million. We only budgeted for 216,000, but this is driven based upon our patient volumes, the tests that we have been doing with our patients, and as well as the overall what we're doing with the staff as well to bring that patient revenue.
What's included in the other?
Other revenue?
Yeah, for what was budgeted in, 2.7.
That's negative 2 million.
So when you look at everything that comes from Medicare disproportionate share, as well as our DCEP, all of that is for your other operating revenue. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what we forecasted for next year on the revenue side?
Total revenues, we are forecasting going to be around 15 million, 15.4 million.
Okay.
Yes, sir. When you think about it, this is a testament to the work that our staff has been doing to take care and to provide those services to our patients. $1.2 million is a great investment for the future of our community here. So we are proud of this, and I wanted to share this with the board. We appreciate your leadership as well as giving us the direction to continue to provide care for our patients.
I'll echo that. Good job.
Yes.
We love to see the millions up there measured in millions.
Now, I'm not going to say every year we're going to have that. However, we are able to do this right now for our patients, and this is a testament of what we are doing for this community and how we continue to develop and grow.
I'll throw this in real quickly, but we had the committee from the parish council that were applicants for our open position, and I'll just tell everybody that it was more like a advertisement for the hospital. People were so complimentary on what we've done here, and they've recognized all of it. So combining that with increasing revenue is a very good thing.
We're going to continue. We have some great partnerships that's coming about, and we have some great things that we're going to be doing and rolling out for our patients the next couple months. So we have a lot. This gives us all pause to say that we are on the right track, and we're going to continue to do that for our patients.
Yeah. Please pass along our thank yous to the people that work here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any other questions about the financials? This goes into our standing reports. As you can see that on the social services, 5 patients that were seen by Dr. Lewis, and we was able to see 350 patients at our Love Impact Free Health Clinic. And it was a wonderful event. Ms. Chantel, you want to say anything about the Love Impact?
it was loved and impactful.
Mhm.
And everybody, it was really, I think like Friday, well, let's see, it happened that Friday, I always do these sneak peek. And it was amazing to see how organized it was, and the founder of the organization, they were just excited to be here. And then on the next day, I'm just so proud of that they full throttle started, and then they didn't leave until everything was done, and people were just happy to get their teeth pulled. I'm like, how did you get happy? But it's pretty exciting. People were happy. I was interviewing people, you know, like if they wanted to be interviewed, and they gave free food away. I think it was Louisiana Healthcare gave every patient, every person that came in and registered food, and everybody had water, refreshments. If seniors or elderly people needed to be taken from the parking lot to the front of the line, the golf cart was available. I think they maybe have a couple of them out there doing that. It was amazing, and I think they're going to try to do it again. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
And I really loved, again, like you said, the organization, the number of people they were able to service in the time frame, seeing not just residents, but my family get services there. People asking when is the next Love Impact event. Looking forward to it next year. I just think it did something great for the brand, like for Prevost Hospital in the community. I think that was a great outreach for us. And I think it's still being talked about.
Yeah.
You know, and so I thank you all for all that you did. The number of volunteers, how many did you all have?
Like, Ms. Angela, how many did we have?
Oh, over 300.
Over 300
volunteers, hospitality, and we did it all.
It was awesome. It was good to see. I was telling Bill about the teeth pulling and the cleaning, like you know, it was good to see. It was good to see.
We didn't pull any of yours, did we?
A great impact on the social.
Well, I mean, all of us have got this tremendous feedback from it. I hear that people were lined up at 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe before that, to come in.
We was there at 4 a.m.
4 a.m. That's really what I'd heard, but I said, I better not say that, I might be wrong.
And it shows the need.
Yes.
In the community.
Yes.
It shows what we
Absolutely.
and that's something, and that's a testament to your leadership, as well as making sure that we are looking at our community as a whole and ensuring that we are providing those services and bringing those services to Donaldson Field.
Well, you know, while I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah. No, I'm after you.
The transportation was a very good investment as well.
Okay.
Because I mean, you know, a lot of people couldn't come, or you know what I'm saying, to get their stuff done, and that was a good thing, and I think that was a really good investment for that.
Well, all I was gonna say is we're in the process of looking at building this new building, and you know, we went through a lot of needs assessments. I think I counted 3 that we've done just in the last couple of years, but this one was probably the most important one. What we saw is there's plenty of need over here. And so, you know, building this new hospital should be a priority that we have.
Our medical committee met on the 16th of September, and they approved and accepted the reports. We had 0 Medicaid admits and monthly denials was at 0. None of, you know, it's a facility quality programs, all at 0 there. When you look at our Q&A review, 4 admissions, 11 observations, 25 on the wound care side, 0 of my specimens for an ER that needed to be extensive review. My pathologist review was at 0. X-rays at 133, CTs are at 77, and we had 0 ultrasounds that was conducted. Our volumes have been continuing to steadily increase at 487. But I will mention to our commissioners that we are seeing the last several weeks a rampant in COVID. And I left the hospital earlier today. I had 3 patients that were COVID positive. So we are seeing that increase within the community, and that spread is starting to creep back up. So we will start watching that
What do you know? Is that people that are vaccinated or not vaccinated? Say we don't have any, we don't keep those numbers.
You can see that our transfers to other facilities are back up to 51. And you probably say, well, that's a large number. But that just shows that we are keeping what we can keep here, and we're transferring what we need to send out to higher level of care. And that shows you we have some sick patients that are coming through the community the last couple of days.
Well, if I'm remembering that correctly, I mean, we used to run around 500. It seemed like we had dipped a little bit, I guess, during the summer months. And
Yes, sir. But we are seeing that increase going to come back. 2020 charts was full and 99% compliance rate on your reassessment of pain medication that was administered prior to discharge. But that's good. Looking at flu A and B, 106 was ordered, 0 was positive. On your strep A, 82 was ordered with 6 that was positive. 21 on my RSV were only 1 positive, and COVID-19, 139 and 19 that was total positive for the month. Total AVGs are at 4, oxygen hours is flat at 408, EKGs was at 82. When you look at our environment of care plans, from your equipment management to your fire prevention, as well as our security management, safety risks, all was conducted by Mr. James Rowe and our environmental care director. Emergency management plan was done, 0 physician incidents, 0 outpatient incidents, and 0 discharge incidents. It continues to show that we are a safety is our main priority here, and we're making sure that we are doing what we need for safety. Product recalls was at 0 for the month. I will say that, I'm gonna back up. I will say that we have, been speaking about safety for the last several months. And one of the things that the IT team brought to my attention was to be able to have a mass text alert in case something was to happen. So we did look at the text alert system. We do have that capability on our phones, and we will start to roll that out just in case we have like.
well, who would that go to?
That will go to our staff. That will alert our staff and let our staff know what's going on our campus. And we will have the Board of Commissioners to be added to those alerts as well.
So is this that the sheriff is helping with this? Are we tying into their system too? Or?
No, sir. So this will be an internal system that we will use, but the Ascension Parish Sheriff have been doing morning rounds and evening rounds frequently around the facility. Ms. Quincy has spoken to them, and they have been patrolling often for us. Yes, sir.
I believe it's the same used in the schools, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Rob?
So that system that he's talking about is alert media. Basically, you can preset all kind of like codes or whatever you would like to send, and you send it to all kind of different groups. You separate the staff into groups. You don't have to send everything to everyone, depending on what it is.
Okay. And do you implement that, or who does it? Can anybody do the implementation?
So implement as far as what? Like who can send?
Yeah, who can send it out?
It's a role that's given to specific users.
Okay.
Next is our IT cyber report. So in the past 30 days, 1,441 exchange messages were quarantined and recognized as phishing scams. That is a 2% consistency over the last 3 months. You see your email activity is up to 14% within the last 30 days. We have received our telehealth card that was received on the 15th. That's going to be amazing for our community because we are able now to look at rheumatology. And rheumatology was a specialty that our patients were having to wait 6 and 7 months out. Now we're going to be able to start seeing patients for their rheumatology needs here with telehealth. And we will have 3 providers that will be rounding every Friday for 4 hours here at our facility. So that's going to be a need that we did not have that we're going to be able to utilize and bring to our community. So telehealth is very important as we continue to.
But how do we get this out to the members of the district?
So the first thing is we are looking at our credentialing process. So we're making sure that the credentialing process is where it needs to be. Then we're looking at our payer source and making so that like Humana, Blue Cross, United, we are all within those networks. Once those agreements have been made, then we will start sending that out to all of our providers that we have. That's gonna be with Dr. Shea Snyder, Dr. Bears, Dr. Reddy, and the surrounding areas. Then we'll be able to blast that to all of our areas, to all of our patients who get it.
Okay.
So it's positive for the community.
So will the services be for if they come in like to the hospital, or they can schedule to see someone just for like one time?
You can schedule to see our rheumatologist.
Oh,
Yes, okay. And the good thing about it is, so all you will need is to have your primary care, to send that referral, and then we can be able to see. We already have a waiting list already.
yeah, because I know some people they're on waiting list now to see a rheumatologist.
So it's coming. It's coming. Next, I would like to just say that we had our Love Impact, and you can see. I know you can't see the pictures well, but it was a real good event. Yeah, there you see right there.
That's a good
Good event. Good event.
Can you watch that?
I would like to recognize our amazing imaging department team. We have a new state-of-the-art CT scan that came in. Ms. Alicia, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. We got our new CT scanner. We did our first patient on Tuesday morning. We now have a 40-slice CT scanner, which is a faster, more efficient machine, better diagnosis, and we are now able to bring CTAs to the hospital to be able to do angiograms, which we were not able to offer with the previous system. We are not doing those just yet because we do need to make sure all our protocols and everything are set in place before we implement it, but it's in the near future.
So again, what do we have that we tell the people in the district that we have this new equipment and you know, here's how you schedule an appointment or?
Yes, so we did put it on our social media to let everybody know, but we will be planning to do a more marketing when we actually have everything put in place that, you know.
Okay.
You don't want to jump the gun too much there.
Yeah.
So this concludes my standing report, and Mr. Dawson, I want to keep your time.
You did pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna beat you or not.
I'm getting good at it. You have any questions for me at this time?
Question? No? So let's move to the new business.
So on our new business for tonight, the first is I have two physicians, and Dr. Levy, the first one I'm gonna go with Dr. Melissa Riley. She is Eagle Telemedicine, and Eagle Telemedicine is who we're gonna be partnering with and who we have partnered with for telerheumatology. So she's gonna be your first physician, but you're gonna have two more that's gonna be coming up within the next month. That you're gonna have to be physician. Yes, ma'am. So Dr. Melissa Riley, with Eagle Telemedicine for rheumatology, she is asking for full privileges at this time. And that way her practice can start sometime in late December, the 1st of January. We're trying to push everything the first of the year. So I asked for full privileges for her. She has been brought before our environment of care. She's also been brought before quality. And finally, she was brought before EBC. Now we bring the recommendation to the full board.
So we'll need a motion to grant both of them full privileges.
So I make a motion to grant full privileges to both doctors.
Dr. T. Patel with StatRad Radiology, he was already with us and he came back. Yes.
So I make a motion to approve Dr. Melissa Riley for temporary privileges.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion, any questions, any opposition? Hearing none, that motion is passed. Okay?
Next is our joint commission update. And I'm gonna tell you this here, the staff has been working nonstop the last 2 weeks on making sure that, we are remaining joint commission compliant and we don't get that gold seal. So one of the things that we've been working on has been some of the policies that we needed to tweak and make sure that we have those policies where they need to be so they can be accepted within the next 45 days. So when the joint commission do come back for their resurvey, they'll come back, we'll have those policies uploaded for them. So that is working well. And I am pleased to let you know that we have no environment of care. We have no deficiencies on the immersion standpoint. All of that has been checked off. So great job. The staff has been working tremendously. We are awaiting the final report, and as soon as that final report is written, given, I will be sending that to you.
When do you expect the report?
Within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks? I know you all were busy here. Everybody was busy, so we do appreciate that effort.
Yes.
Been busy.
That didn't keep me from calling and bugging you about something.
Hey, but it's okay. It's okay. We're doing it.
Great job.
Next is our 2024 audit update. And we had Lester Miller and Wells came and presented 2 months ago. I do want to just tell you where we're at now. So you can see that we are being proactive. So we have completed all of the necessary efficiencies that were listed on the last audit. And now we're moving to the new year and making sure that we have everything engaged. That's why before you, I'm going to be presenting the 3 proposals for this afternoon so that we can engage Lester Miller and Wells. But as far as closing up the books to make sure that we're auditing everything, that is being done, every month with Matthew and Colin. And Matthew and Colin give me a detailed breakout every month. I look at all the checks that are written. I make sure we sign off, so we have that 2 verifications, and then it's presented well. We are making sure that everything is saved, intact, is moving over to our cost report, and the GL is where it needs to be. So the recommendations from our previous audit is being met, and we're making sure that the checks are in line at this time.
Yeah.
And next is my proposal for tonight, Ms. Tanya. This is going to be for the approval for Lester Miller and Wells to complete our statewide agreed upon procedures from September 1st of 2024 to August 31st of 2025. So our last year, now Lester Miller and Wells are going to be able to look at our agreed upon procedures.
So we need a motion to approve this for statewide agreed upon procedures with Lester and Miller Well.
I make a motion to approve the statewide agreed upon procedures agreement with Lester Miller and Wells.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Any opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes.
All right, next, Ms. Tanya, is going to be your approval for your cost report preparation for September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2025. This is so that Lester Miller and Will can complete our annual cost report for Medicare and Medicaid for the state of Louisiana.
A motion to approve the cost report preparation.
Have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Any opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Last, Ms. Tanya, is going to be your approval for the audit engagement. This is going to be for the complete audit from last year, and with fiscal year ending August 31st, 2025, and Lester Miller and Wells will complete that audit for us for this year.
Motion for the approval of the audit engagement for the year ending August 31st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes.
The next is going to be giving you a general liability risk assessment overview. So every year for the organization, we have to do our general risk assessment to make sure that the safety and security of the hospital is where it needs to be for our patients. I am pleased to announce that this is the first year, and we have been working with the Louisiana Hospital Association, HSR, for the last 12 years, where this is the first year that we have zero deficiencies, zero findings on our risk assessment. That is the work that James' team, Quincy's team, and all of the teams in the hospital have been doing to make sure that our patients are safe and this hospital is secure. So kudos to everyone, and I have that final report that I will be sharing with you all tomorrow.
Tell me this readout, what does that mean?
That's just me giving a readout.
It was some coded hospital term.
James, I did your part, man.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, I had to step out.
But James, I can't speak great things about James and what he does for this organization to make sure that we are safe. It's all the time that he put in and with all of his staff to make sure that everything is right. And that's the reason why we have zero deficiencies on there. So kudos.
So is our general liability insurance gonna go down?
Dawson, I wish, but I can't. Look, I try to be good, but I'm not that good. You know, I'm not that good.
Maybe it won't go up.
Won't go. That's it. Next thing, Mr. Dawson, I bring before our board and the audience is our pharmacy policies. We noticed in our joint commission that we had to do some titration policy updates and move to some governance. So we brought that before Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee that was approved there. We also brought these policies through quality. So they moved through quality, and then finally the policies moved through MedExec, and the recommendation was to bring those policies before the board for final approval. So you have the 25 pharmacy policies as well as our titration policies that are added for quality, and I'll bring that before the board for approval at this time.
You gonna read us every one of those?
I got you. Your governance and document control, medication management, pharmacy and therapeutics, your quality, you have your med.
I was kidding.
Okay.
Read.
Are you serious?
You caught me there.
Awesome. But all of the policies have been read and reviewed.
I make a motion to approve all 25.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Your next, Mr. Dawson, is your approval and infection prevention policies, as well as we are bringing before James's environment of care policies that James have to be approved. So on your infection prevention, you have your high level disinfectant, the sterilization, we have like the fecal occult blood testing. All of these policies have been brought before pharmacy and therapeutic. They also have went through quality, and they were vetted heavily in quality, and then it rolled up to MEC. And at the MEC, we are bringing that before the board for final approval in our policy manual.
Make a motion for the approval for the infection prevention policies.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any opposition? Hearing none, that motion passes.
At this time, turn it over to Mr. Dawson.
Yeah. So I asked Shelton to put these two items on the agenda for me, which the first one is the formation of a committee. Now, I want to say that these will not be voted on tonight. They're just to be introduced to the board. Get the right paperwork here. Yeah, Build Our Future is, if somebody has a better name, I'm really open to that. But, what we're trying to establish here is a place that we can monitor our design and construction as it goes through this process of building us a new hospital. So, what I've proposed here is that the that the board create a special committee and that the president, the chairman, and the vice chairman would be the representatives from the board. And non-voting members would be the chief executive officer and Our Lady of the Lake board representative, which he's not shown up here tonight, but that's Dr. Presh. And the duties and purpose of this is to outline the preliminary steps of options and consideration for the generation and development of a new healthcare campus for the district. Reviewing data, needs assessments, financial models, community input necessary for planning, making recommendations to the full board regarding future action strategies, partnership related, coordinating as appropriate with external stakeholders, regulatory agencies, and community partners. As complementary to this is to engage a project manager, or you could call it an owner's representative. You know, those terms in this case are almost interchangeable. But what I'm asking for here is that we bring a qualified project manager or owner's rep to directly oversee and coordinate all the activities related to the planning and development of Build Our Future Healthcare Campus initiative. So when this is somebody that will have the overall responsibility, or really will be between the board and the contractor or engineer or architect that is out doing the work, and we'll have one person that will look at the progress of the total job and report back to the board on where that is and the spending, how we are in compliance or not in compliance with our budget. So it'll be a fiscal. They'll do or he will do, or she will do a fiscal evaluation too.
So the one person, you saying the one person or this committee?
Well, the one person will be the project manager or owner's rep, as some people call that. And then the committee, that one person will report to the committee, and then the committee will report to the board.
So what's the difference between the committee and the board?
Well, the committee will be more closely involved with the aspects of the construction. So we're talking about possibly a $50 million project. In a prior life, I was a project manager, and when you get to $50 million, it takes a lot of coordination on the part of all the contractors that are coming in and engineers that are in, and then we're still running a hospital. That's makes that even more difficult. But the board will be as involved, and I have some. Let's see where those are. So this person, the project manager, will report to the Build Our Future Committee and the full board on project progress, risk, and recommendation.
Those things, meetings that the board won't be in is what this is.
That's possible. It's possible that the project manager, I would see this as the project manager would be a lot more involved in the details, and so would the committee would be a lot more involved in the details, kind of like a mid-level. And then when it comes to the board can get involved at any level that they really wish. I don't mean to take away anything from the board, but when you have $50 million worth of work going on, it takes a tremendous amount of coordination, especially in our case, which is, number one, here we'll be demoing buildings that have asbestos, and I don't know what else they have that are listed problems. And we have a hospital that's still operational, and now we're going to throw this other problem in, which is to build I don't know exactly the size of it. I think it was 75,000 square feet was pretty close to what the hospital was. I don't know if that'll last, if that's the final number, but it's a big job. My experience with that tells you that you're probably looking at 2 years at least disruption to the current hospital and time to do engineering, architectural work, and then the actual construction. Also, this project manager, if you look at the latest work that's been done in Ascension Parish, I think almost all the large jobs have been done under what they call a CMAR, construction management at risk. And it's kind of a new process. In some cases, you have to go to the state and get approval to get your project listed on that if it's below a certain level. But courthouse in Gonzales was one of the first ones to do that. And what it does, it allows for the owner and the engineers and the contractors to vary the work and the process as the job progresses. So it gives you and the contractor needs to look at that, look at the work before he does it and see if there's a better way to do it. And so what it's resulted in, I'm not an expert on that, but I can bring one in. What it does is it gives you an opportunity to make these changes as you build. And it's been a successful process for both the courthouse in Gonzales, and I think the library in Dawsonville was built under that. And I think there's another library building going on right now on the East Bank that's under that same, being done under that same procedure. Are you familiar with that at all, Kenneth, the CMAR?
Yeah, I'm familiar as to how you use them, and it was used on the courthouse building.
Yeah.
Very, only dealt with a small section of it.
Yeah. I'm not saying that that's something that we need to use, but I think we need to investigate it and see if it's something that makes sense. And
I'm familiar with like having project managers. I'm just trying to understand, because I'm thinking if you had a project manager, they would naturally probably report to the chair and vice chair on, on the updates or whatever. So I guess I'm trying to understand like what's the differentiation between like the Build Our Future committee and because I see voting members. What does that mean? Like voting?
Well,
what are we voting for? Like,
we have Shelton is on there as a non-voting member, and maybe we can put him as, but Dr. Fresh is a non-voting member of this board, so just transferred him over. But certainly all of that, as again, this is an introduction, just to ask you guys to look at this and the public to look at this and make a comment to us. Do you think that there's something that needs to be changed, or is there, something else that needs to be done? But, I get really worried that we don't have a single point of contact, or we don't have, a one place that we can go and look at the progress and look at the cost and where do we stand on what we had budgeted and
would be the project manager?
that would be the project manager, right?
I can see the project manager, and I guess your question, I don't know what would be, I can only say, so the project manager would report more to the Build Our Future committee. That's what you're saying, like
Yeah.
information to that committee, and then that committee will then bring it to the board.
So normally the hierarchy in that is you'd have the project manager would report to the owner's representative, which is, that's what we are as a board. We're the owner's representative. So, I just kind of inserted this stop before it goes into the committee. If we had a real owner's representative, then, maybe we don't need that. Maybe we need just a project manager reporting to the owner's representative. And usually they have other duties besides that. So, but I would say, if y'all have a chance, look up that CMAR, CMAR, and the legislature usually has to authorize it depending on what the value of the project is. But, and see what kind of information you can find about that. And I know this, that we need to have someone, like I said, that is responsible for the overall job.
Mhm.
So what are the voting members? Like, what's the votes for? What will be the votes?
I don't know, put that in there. I don't know what if there's some case that
This
it
is
might have to
something
vote,
you
I don't
thought
know.
about it, you kind of
I'm just
thought about
wanting
it
to put
and
that
put
in
it out there.
put that in the base case of it, but, I think that group would always come out there with a consensus, almost always come out there with a consensus. And then remember, not only do we have a month to think about this, but even as we're going along, if there needs to be some windage adjustment, then we can do that, add people or take people move, from that board or do whatever our board here wishes. Okay, so really there's no vote or anything required. It's the introduction. It just tells everybody that we're going to vote on this next month. So it takes one vote to introduce, and I'll make the one vote. Okay. Well, Sheldon, what time is it?
It is 6:45.
That's a world record, I think.
Okay.
6:47?
6:47, wait.
Hey, is that a record?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. One meeting, I think you were absent. You. I don't know. I think.
Was that a motion? Was that a motion to adjourn? Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, I told you.
Great job.
Really?